All right, time for more of our Argonaut Weekly. Rob Walden along with head volleyball coach Melissa Wolter here to wrap up what was a very successful UWF volleyball season. The Argos went 30-7, just their second 30-win season in program history. They won their third consecutive Gulf South Conference Tournament Championship and advanced all the way to the finals of the NCAA South Region, the round of 16 in the NCAA tournament. So, Coach, now you've had a couple weeks to reflect on the season, which is in the rearview mirror, and it was a very successful season, no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wild ride. I think we knew from back in the spring that we would have the talent, and it's always a matter of putting it together and finding the right lineup. And there's always those intangibles about which kids are going to produce for you when you really need somebody to produce. And I think we met a lot of milestones, and we went as far as we could go without pulling up an upset. So I'm pleased. I'm proud of our kids. I thought we fought all the way to the end. We had a lot of times when our backs were against the wall. We had a lot of learning lessons, and we did learn those lessons. So it was neat, and I think the seniors can be really proud of their efforts, especially towards the end there, and the successes that we had.
Yeah, teams at this level are always relying on their seniors, and you're only as good as your seniors take you to be. And this year's senior class, Chelsea Wilhoit, Kara Gonzalez, Katie Johnson, all GSC performers, Jamie Nichols as well, a huge clutch performer. Those four seniors really led you all season long.
Yeah, gosh, I feel like I don't know our program without those guys in it. And obviously Katie just joined us in the spring, but I feel like she's been here forever. She bought into what we were teaching and what we were trying to accomplish. But for sure, I mean, when you have players that grow up in the program, and it's kind of nice that they expected to win the conference tournament this year, and they expected to go to regionals, and they expected to make a run to try to go to the Elite Eight, and that's exactly what we did. So they are going to be greatly missed, but I think our underclassmen are ready to take on a bigger role every year. As they see those guys walk out the door, I think it's kind of motivating to them that they're going to have to be able to make up for all those points that those guys scored for us.
You mentioned those underclassmen, and a couple of them newcomers, Chandler Carney and Estekline, both thrust into really important positions right off the bat, and they both produced all year long.
Yeah, our recruiting class that we got in last year was phenomenal. I mean, even though we redshirted Jenny Bellairs, I felt like, all of the players that came in, including Molly Pierce, who in a lot of situations, she was our starting setter. Running a 6-2, we had the fortunate opportunity to either start Trisha or start Molly, start Jamie or start Chandler, and I felt like that was always a different look that we were able to give teams based on what we thought we were going to need in the front row first. But yeah, I think, Anna and Chandler and Molly, that was their first real experience here at UWF, and Molly said it very well in a team meeting we had before the first round of regionals, and she said, I'm just along for the ride. I really, she was super excited that her very first year she got to go as far as we went this year, and she knew that the work had been done before she got here, and that was a really poignant statement for her to make, and it kind of just shows that people get it, that things have been done before they got here, and they're fortunate enough, if they're fortunate enough to get on the floor, they hope to raise the level even higher. 3 straight
GSC championships, a new benchmark for this program. What does that mean to you?
It's a big deal. To me, it's something. We were fighting for that ever since last spring, and every year it gets harder and harder. You're the target, and I feel like we really battled for that. We got challenged in every way possible that weekend, and I felt like that really prepared us then for regionals. But being conference champions, it's a big deal. I mean, we do have a very strong conference, and things are obviously going to change with our conference in the next couple of years. So it was nice to be able to have one more conference tournament championship with the conference intact the way that it is this year.
You guys were eliminated by Tampa in the regional finals, the South Region finals. Tampa, of course, spent all season long ranked in the top 5, spent some time at number 1. You guys played them 3 times this year, and obviously they're kind of the giants of the region. They're the team that you're going to have to topple over if you're going to make that next step, go to the Elite Eight. What's it going to take for your program and your group of girls next year to rise to that level and to go where you've never gone before?
Boy, isn't that the million-dollar question? Honestly, like we're at a point where I think both teams, Tampa and West Florida, really feel like we're supposed to be there. I think both teams, and we heard some of their players saying it while we were at the regional tournament, that they expected to see us in the finals. And that was kind of one of those comments that will forever stick with me, that we have built something here where our players do expect to not just go to regionals, but to really make a run at it. And I think what it comes down to, you know, Tampa's going to lose you know, really 4 contributing seniors, and we're losing 4 contributing seniors, and really it's about who works harder in the spring, obviously how you recruit, and the kind of vision that you set forth. But I have nothing but respect for that program, and I think they're going to represent our region extremely well. Sure wish we were going, but since we're not, I think that, you know, this was their year, and it was almost ours. So almost are what they are, and I think they just make you even hungrier for it next year.
When you look ahead to next year, who are some specific players that are going to have to step up? Obviously, a lot of different players will take on increased roles, some of them a much bigger role than they ever have before.
Sure.
Who are some individuals who need to step up their play, improve during the spring, and then shoulder the load next year?
You know, it's interesting because we have a fairly large roster, and we're returning 12 players going into next season. So you know, we're really looking to depend heavily on Chandler. Obviously, she played a big role in a lot of matches for us, but she was still only a sophomore this year. I think Anna coming back and being even that much more experienced still as a young player, we're going to expect her to take an even bigger role, because we're not really sure who our primary passers are going to be outside of Anna at this point. You know, Mayland Parker, she had moments this year where she was brilliant, and then she battled a couple of injuries, but I know she's hungry again. So, you know, on the wings, it's really, we're expecting big things out of Chandler, we're expecting big things out of Mayland. Lindsay is back. She's back in the gym. She's playing hard, and it's been kind of exciting to see her, you know, just kind of back doing her own thing. And of course, Abby, and gosh, I could go down the list. But we don't ever have players in the program that we don't think we're going to have to depend on, and that's where our program's at. We don't have projects. We don't have players that are, you know, bench players. We're always recruiting players and training our players to take on a much bigger role next year. And I feel like these guys, they're hungry. You know, I'm getting multiple texts from them about when can we get back in the gym. So I'm excited about what this year has done for our program, and the fact that next year, even though we've lost 4 really big time players for our program that are underclassmen, they don't really care. I mean, they feel like we shouldn't drop next year. We should be right back where we were this year. So that's kind of exciting for us.
Very exciting season. 30-7 for the UWF volleyball team. Of course, you can follow all their off-season progress right here at GoArgos.com.